Well, in the words of trailblazer Caitlyn Jenner, I will do anything for money and attention.
So brave.
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner is exactly like that. Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be reacting to Family Guy again. This time, I'm going to be reacting to trans fat. I got a lot of requests to look at it, so I'm going to see, is this accurate to the trans experience? Let's find out. And stay tuned to the end, where I'm going to give this episode a grade for trans accuracy.
This is the life. Thanks, Peter.
I still can't believe you won by filming yourself pooping in a Yankees helmet.
I am not a subtle filmmaker, and my audience wouldn't have it any other way.
It's interesting. Sports is a very divisive subject. I'm not a sports fan and don't really follow or support any teams. But I just want to say that, like, is this accurate to the experience of sports goers?
4 beers, please. Anything else, fellas?
Yeah, I'll have a beer.
Anyone else want another?
Yeah, why not?
Quagmire?
I'm good.
I'm good with one more.
Cleveland?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with one more, too.
Okay, time for a preachy PSA. If you drink like Peter, please, get some help. There are non-religious programs that can help too. So, please, do what's best for your health.
All right, now to have the only exciting thing in the game happen as soon as I turn my back.
This is a good gag.
Hey, buddy, that's just a break in the line so people can pass through. End of the line's that way. Yeah, it's all the way to that guy with the score book just waiting for someone to talk to.
Don't get used to Benintendi's two-strike hitting. His history will tell you it's not a sustainable pace for an everyday outfielder.
Screw that. I'm using the ladies' room. How bad could it be? I saw a mouse.
Buddy, if you really gotta go, you can use that one.
Okay, this is where the trans stuff starts to come in. And I first want to say, yes, this symbol does represent a lot of people in the trans community, but it's not all. You more commonly see the trans flag, which is behind me. Being trans involves a lot more than just being man or woman, because there are some people who are outside the gender binary. And I recently did a poll on here, and it turns out a large percentage of my audience is actually in this group. And I just want to say, thank you so much. I love this, having this big, diverse community here. You're all incredible, beautiful people. And if you want to support me even further, you can sign up for my Patreon. Plans start as low as $3 a month. All my patrons get to see extended access to these videos with parts, in this case Disney, does not want you to see. Not only that, if you're a $10 patron, like Jeremy Bottoms or Apollo, you get to have your name shouted out like this in a video. Thank you so much to my patrons. But hey, if you can't support me on Patreon, at least give this video a like, comment what you'd like to see next, and subscribe. It boosts this channel along, and I greatly appreciate it.
Bathroom for Prince? I can't use that. I'm not Prince.
It's not for Prince.
Space cats? Screw this.
Not only that, I don't particularly like the idea of trans bathrooms, and if you want to hear more about that, you can watch my reaction to The Sissy from South Park.
Guys, I found the best toilet in the whole place. Next time...
Peter, you're on the Jumbotron!
Where?
Right there!
Here?
There, Peter, there!
Here? Yes?
It's right in front of you, Peter.
Right here?
No!
Oh, over here?
Damn it, Peter, you're gonna miss it.
Is this it? Aha! Where? Hey guys, look! I'm on the Jumbotron!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big Boston welcome to Peter Griffin, the first transgender Red Sox fan.
This should not be done. That's outing. And even though they're trying to do it in a positive way, there could still be someone who doesn't like trans people in there who could hurt him. So this is not a good idea. Which is also why I don't like the idea of trans bathrooms specifically, is because of stuff like this, that you're inherently outing yourself by doing so. Now, I don't know much about the Red Sox team, but correct me if I'm wrong, but there are likely to be transgender fans of it. Like, people say that trans people are such a small percentage of the population it doesn't really matter. But let's put that in context here. Trans people are estimated to be 0.5% of the population. When you have a stadium filled up to the brim like this, you would expect there to be a decent amount of trans people there.
Peter, you use the transgender bathroom, so now everyone thinks you're transgender.
Good morning, Peter. We saw the game last night, and well, we just want you to know that we wholeheartedly support all transgender people.
But I'm not.
Peter, before you say anything that might clear all this up, let me tell you about our stellar transgender employee benefit package.
Okay. Some employers are like this, but for a lot of the country here, you can still be fired for being trans. So, I'm not going to say this is inaccurate so far, but I'm going to say that this is not always the case. There's no such thing as a transgender package, at least that I'm aware of.
Benefits? I'm trans-listening.
Well, as such, you're entitled to supplemental time off, our on-site masseuse, and a $60 gift card from Nordstrom Rack.
Hot damn, that's a lot there. Although $60 at Nordstrom Rack, that's like a sweater.
Well, in the words of trailblazer Caitlyn Jenner, I will do anything for money and attention.
So brave.
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner is exactly like that.
Well, better use the men's room one last time. Lot of history in there.
Did I do a walkthrough of the men's room one last time? No.
Peter, pretending to be transgender to get time off work trivializes a real struggle in this country.
When I came out, there was no time off from work. I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Lois is right, Peter. Besides the fact that you're lying to your employers, you're taking advantage of a civil liberty that so many oppressed people have fought their entire lives for.
Shut your mouth, Brian. I'm part of a movement.
Brian should not be the one handling this conversation after what he did in the last episode.
Hey, what is transgender anyway? Is that the stuff in potato chips that makes your bum go bam?
How did Peter not know what transgender meant if he had the understanding of the men's restroom and not going there for the last time?
Now, in order to pull this off, I'm gonna have to look the part. Lois, which dress may I borrow?
None. My
So he does
closet is
know.
off limits.
Fine. There's gotta be something in the attic.
I can't even begin to describe the density of illness I feel in my bone marrow right now.
Glenn, your father is trans. Be more respectful. And if Peter wants to wear a dress, so be it.
Sorry, Peter, I don't see you getting away with this one.
Look, Peter, the good news is you still fit in your wife's wedding gown. Not every guy can say that.
It's actually Meg's. She commits murders in it.
What's this now?
That's it, Peter. This whole thing is a joke to you. Are you forgetting I have a dad who's a woman?
No, of course not. That's the first thing everyone thinks of when they see you. But this isn't like that.
Okay, when I think of Glenn Quagmire, the first thing that comes to mind isn't the fact that his dad's trans. The first thing that comes to mind is he should be in prison because he's a sexual predator. Peter is not trans, so I'm going to continue referring to him as Peter and we, he, him pronouns throughout this. That's abundantly clear. And I agree to a certain extent that this is bad for the trans community. However, that being said, people's idea of their own sense of gender is something that I think requires more acceptance in today's society. Not everyone's sense of gender is man and woman, and not always is that consistent. There's a lot of gender fluidity that exists in this world, and there should be more options for gender expression that allow people to be more expansive in how they can express themselves with gender, if they choose to do so.
How goes the transition, Mr. Griffin?
Chris is trying to be supportive, but where's the Mr. coming from? Just depends on how Peter's identified.
You could be too if you just let your hair down a little.
Wow, that's some good hair.
Now you just take that beautiful hair down to the salon, and you'll be a 10.
On a scale of 1 billion?
Thanks, Chris.
If only we had gray hair like that, and Stewie, be more accepting. Wigs. Also, keep in mind, wigs can sometimes be very expensive, so I know it's a joke there, but like, all those wigs could cost several $1,000s.
Where are you going, Dad?
Out. Now that I'm living as a woman, I can say whatever I want to men and they can't hit me.
Oh, hey, Peter.
Sully could have made it to an airport.
You shut your mouth. That man is a hero.
Woman.
I don't know where this idea came from that men can't hit women. Men should not hit women. In fact, people should not be hitting each other in the first place. Kind of seems like something you should have learned in preschool. Trans people are likely to be victims of violent situations, so this is a little weird.
Now, Peter, one of the perks of being a woman is that you get to go out and have a white wine squeak fart lunch with your friends. Did you hear Diane's husband left her?
Okay, this is actually a good thing they're showing off right here. A lot of times, if you're trans and you have allies in your life, they will help you out with certain gendered activities. I know this was true for me. When I started coming out, I started having more girl time with my girlfriends and stuff like that.
Oh, it's a shame. And they have 2 kids.
Marriage
Everyone
is
has
hard.
gas. Oh,
Those machines
no.
in the ladies' room don't vend pants, do they? Don't let them take my salad. I'm still working on it.
Oh.
This is so great. Now that I'm a woman, I can lean dance into anyone's karaoke song.
When you were here before, could look you in the eye.
Yeah, it's a work night. Woo!
Hey, come on, get out of here. You're ruining my birthday party. Your skin makes me cry.
Sing Justin Timberlake.
Come on, I waited an
I
hour
guess
and a
this
half
is
for
gender?
And hey, get off that bar.
Why?
Because you're at Low Fan O'Reilly's.
Oh my!
All right, where am I on the screen? Float like a feather in a beautiful world. Okay. Flippin' special. But I'm a creep.
What happened?
I knew you'd catch it. I'm parting my hair.
Waking up with your makeup on, that's pretty interesting. The hospital didn't take that off. That seems kind of important. Makeup's not supposed to set like that.
What happened?
I knew you'd catch it. I'm parting my hair on the other side now.
Oh, Peter, thank God you're okay.
Hello, bosses, and not my family.
You really gave us a scare there.
Oh, what do you mean?
What? You went into a coma after you were hit in the head by a fan. Oh, it was funny. And then it wasn't.
A coma? Well, I feel tomato now, beige spots.
And since the company was paying for your medical care anyway, we fulfilled your letter of medical intent for your sex reassignment surgery.
What?
She's saying that your surgery to become a woman was a complete success. It's much easier going that way, believe me. Just a chopping them up.
Congratulations, Peter. You're officially a woman.
Okay, I have some big problems with this scene. Getting a surgery like this is not as easy as they're making it out to seem. There's a lot of prep to get this done. Some places still require that you need 2 letters from mental health professionals. You need to be on hormones for at least a year, which they have not established that Peter is even on hormones. If I had to guess, this maybe takes place over the course of a week, if not a day. So I'm not really sure what's going on here and why this is allowed. I know it's satire, but this is not realistic to the trans experience at all. And not only that, the "you're officially a woman" thing is not accurate at all. What actually is going on is a trans person is always their gender. So for me, I'm a trans woman. When I was a child, I was a girl. When I'm an adult, I'm a woman. That's what being trans is. That my sense of self has always been female. And that does not change with my body or how I'm socialized. What that is who you are within yourself. And that's not what's going on. And Peter clearly does not want this, which makes some sense here. There's a lot of preparation to get done for these surgeries, and he's not trans. That's made abundantly clear throughout this. And this episode has some similar problems to the first Family Guy I looked at, where they talked about Ida and her being trans, that they skip social transitioning altogether. This is the same sort of problem where they say, once you have the surgery, you're a woman. That's called transmedicalism, and that's not good. Transmedicalism is a type of transphobia and needs to be stopped.
That is one nutty hospital.
It's Bill Murray.
Peter, I'm sorry this happened, but it's your own fault. You should never have pretended to be someone else.
That's right. But now that it's done, maybe I can help you with the transition. You know, I've always been a great supporter of the LGBLT.
Nope.
LGTE.
Nope.
GED.
Unrelated.
LIE.
The Long Island Expressway?
NKOTB.
The wrong stuff, Brian.
WNBA.
Yes. Yes, WNBA.
Brian is what we call a performative ally. Not really an ally, just pretending to be.
Mom, you know, our world today is filled with people like that trying to find their identities. Whether it's cutters, or people who cut themselves, or people who drag knives across their thighs to feel something.
You're right, Meg.
Also, canonically, isn't he trans? Just saying. That's Roy right there. Imagine what he's going through.
Knock, knock.
Oh, hi, Ron.
Who is that fellow? He looks so familiar. It's Meg. She had a sex change right after college.
Wow, she went to college?
I can't stay too late. I gotta go shop for a razor. You know, for my face, where I grow my beard.
Okay, we get it, Ron. You're a guy. Thank you for showing me the 90 things women have to do before going to bed.
Okay, now,
It do be like
for no
that.
reason?
Can we do one last judgmental scroll through Facebook first?
Of course.
Congratulations, you went to a dance club.
You know, Peter, if I didn't know better, I'd say you'd been a woman for years. Now we just drift off to sleep thinking about Rick from Midas Muffler.
I probably won't be able to sleep because I had 2 sips of tea at 3:30 this afternoon.
That's okay,
Relatable.
Peter. You can just read on an impossibly bright iPad while I toss and turn in a pissy way.
Oh, come on. Yeah, that is the worst.
You almost done with the chapter?
Oh, there's no chapters. It's a Clifford book.
Sounds like in this episode, Lois is trying to be a good ally, which I guess is better than where she was last time.
Has an appointment Friday with Dr. Hartman to have the procedure, and he wants me to go with him. I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, I'm sure your friend Peter would be happy to come along for moral support. Fun at the circus.
Hey, now that we're all settled at this table, you guys want to move outside because it's such a nice day?
Okay, why don't you go save us a table outside, and we'll be there soon.
Taken.
That's
Sorry.
a nice yard there. Nice eating place.
You know, it's fun back here. You don't even know you're in Quahog.
Please don't talk to us. You're too fat.
Whoa! Them and their
Want me to
fat
start a
phobia.
new tab for you?
No, you can just keep ours going.
Your friends left the minute you came out here, and they didn't pay their indoor tab.
They aren't real friends. LGBTQs Fridays. Love it.
Peter?
Ida?
Come, sit.
It's Ida.
Well, look at you.
Yeah, look at me.
What's wrong?
It's a long story.
Yeah, I've heard. Peter, everything is going to be okay. I promise.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm going to tell you a story. When I first met you, Peter, I was already at the end of a long journey to find the courage to become a woman. But before that, I lived for 61 years as a miserable, miserable man. I grew up in the small town of Football, Texas, and from the age of 8, I was mercilessly teased for being different and dressing funny. Then,
Relatable.
at the age of 14, I had an epiphany. It was so clear. I was a girl trapped in a boy's body.
A lot of trans people have this experience, but sometimes it takes us a while to figure this out. I think the idea of being trapped in the wrong body is a little bit more complicated. I like to see it as being trapped in a bad role. That I did not like the role of man on me. However, I don't want to invalidate trans people who feel this way, because a lot of trans people feel this way. A lot of trans people also figure out they're trans later in life, and I think it's important to validate that. So, that being said, this isn't bad, but let's keep going.
I'm having a hard time focusing without a drink, but go on.
It took me 47 years from that day to officially own who I am.
Is there a waiter or...
Transphobia
In those
is
47 years, I became an expert at hiding my secret. I became a war hero and raised a family. But I was dying inside. And the deeper I buried it, the more unhappy I became. And eventually, I even thought of ending my own life. But I couldn't do that to Glenn.
I had no idea.
This is true for a lot of us, and it's true for me too. While I never served in the military, I very much have that type of experience. I was miserable and wanted to take my own life. But transitioning saved my life. And I'm grateful for life every day. I'm grateful for life every day. Because I'm happy and I know how valuable life is.
It's clear you had no idea. You know nothing about what it means to feel this struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You're right. I kind of stumbled into all this, but you've been dealing with it your whole life.
Yes, I have. And my story, to one degree or another, is every transgender person's story. And all
Absolutely
those stories
true.
are the price of admission to finally feeling at peace with who you are. A price you
Yes.
never paid.
I'm so sorry.
Yes,
Ida.
Ida.
I feel really awful. I'm a really bad person for what I did. I deserve what happened to me.
Peter, listen to me. You were a bad person. But now you've taken a journey. It just took becoming a woman to make you a better man.
But I'll never be that better man. I can't afford the surgery to go back.
I think I might be able to help you with that, Peter.
Ida is the best.
Well, I'm glad everything's back to normal.
I'll say, Dad, you lost a wiener, but came out a winner.
Well, that does it for our crossover episode. Thanks for coming, cast of Bob's Burgers.
We didn't get to do anything.
Show's 22 minutes long. Not everything makes it to air. But hey, you have the floor if there's something hilarious you want to say. I'll just sit here and be quiet. Give us 2 Emmys worth of amazing. Maybe a funny burger name? No? Girl in the bunny ears? Boy, I love it when characters are expressed by props.
I kind of feel like this is less of a crossover and more of a roast.
No, a roast is good-natured.
That was an ending. Also, if you want to see me react to Bob's Burgers, get this video up to 300 likes and it will be done. Final thoughts. Okay, so we got 2 positive things that happened here. 1, they showed what a good ally looks like. And 2, Ida's story, I definitely think, saved this episode a lot. However, on the cons, they completely miss what being trans is actually about. And they also show here transmedicalism and its height here. I'm going to give this episode a D+. It did get a little bit better than the first episode of Family Guy I watched, but it still has room for improvement. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, I highly recommend you check out my reaction to Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Also, don't forget to subscribe.